TunePocket.com. TunePocket.com.
Good morning. Good morning and welcome to the Sean Farrell podcast. I am Sean Farrell. God is great all the time. All the time God is great. And let's get right to it. So, feeling empty. We all feel empty, especially to the ones who deal with depression, we all feel empty. From time to time, often, or all the time. Feeling empty can manifest itself as sadness, irritability, overwhelm, disinterest, apathy, numbness. This happens more often around Thanksgiving, Christmas, and the New Year's, where stress, holiday depression, inability to afford gifts for others can trigger all of these, but it can also trigger a sense of depression as well. And New Year's depression is actually very, very real. New Year's depression can come from stress, just the stress of the holiday season. It can come from high expectations that weren't met in the previous year. And finances can also play a part in New Year's depression. Being in isolation during the holiday season, grief during the holiday season, cold weather and shorter days can trigger seasonal depression too. So there are like 5 things that you can do to fight the feeling of being empty. Embrace the new year with mental health resolutions. Reflect on your accomplishments, not those of others. Engage in distractions. Start a new tradition that makes you happy, and reach out to others. Okay. So those are some of the things that you can do to counter feeling empty. I remember seeing something on the 1990 Dallas Cowboys where they had just lost a home game to Philadelphia. And Jerry Jones was talking, and he said after the Philadelphia game, it was a quiet locker room, a empty feeling, knowing that they had left it all out on the field and to not come back in that dressing room with a win. Then the narrator said, but empty feelings became filled with more losses because the Cowboys lost their next 2 games. Okay. But they eventually ended up turning it around. But empty feelings can become filled with depression, anxiety, suicidal ideation. Okay. And so let's see. Okay. Not that. I saw a post by Chloe Bellerby, mental health advocate, and I just recently posted about this on Instagram. Then you're going to come into contact with a lot of people who are at their breaking point. People who are barely holding it together. People who are just holding on by barely holding on. People who are depressed, feeling empty. Okay, feeling empty. And so I saw a post by Chloe Bellerby, and it said, please be on the lookout for people this Christmas who may be in the hospital, grieving, under pressure, suffering with their mental health, struggling to stay sober, struggling financially, like I am, dealing with health problems, combating addiction, and suicidal. Okay. That's why we see a lot of posts talking about be kind. We just need to be kind, because you never know what somebody's going through. You may not know what your co-workers are going through. You may not know what your next door neighbor's going through. You may not know what a person you see at the store is going through. So let's just be kind, okay? You never know what somebody's dealing with. You just never know. And yeah, you just never know. Somebody may be dealing with drug addiction. Somebody may be dealing with grief. Somebody may be dealing with the fact that they feel like a bad person because they can't afford to give their children presents. I was watching a Dark Harmon video yesterday, and this one parent was handing his kids gifts, and one father was looking at that father who couldn't afford gifts for his kids. He was looking at that father and just put his head down and was sad that he couldn't afford gifts for his kids, and made him feel like that he was a bad father. So in the hospital, grieving, under pressure, suffering with their mental health, struggling to stay sober, struggling financially, dealing with health problems, combating addiction, suicidal. Now, suicide rates are at their lowest during this time of year. Suicide rates are at their lowest this time of year. But New Year's depression, holiday depression, that's high. That is usually high this time of year. And as you know, suicide rates spike in the spring. They spike in the spring. They start to go way up in the spring, okay? But during this time of year, they're usually at their lowest. Rates. So yeah, let's just be kind, okay? All right. That's it, and that's all for the Sean For Real podcast. I am out of here. God bless you all. Peace out.